So Rick and I finished this last week, and Mike did some work and finished it this week. So now we've all finished it. What did everybody think of season 2 of Sex Education? Other than
fucking even better than the first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love season 1. This knocked season 1 out of the fucking ring, dude. Yeah,
dude, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I want to watch season 1 again. I want to watch it again.
I want to go back and watch the first.
I really do. But the thing that this season did so well is not that the first season was this, because it wasn't. It wasn't. But this season they really hit home that, hey, this isn't just the Otis and Maeve show.
Yeah.
They fleshed out a whole cast of characters.
Yep.
And it's fucking awesome.
And they did a little bit of work on that last season too, but this was last season there was
doubled down.
There was 5 main characters last season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam, Eric,
Otis, Maeve, Amy.
And I wouldn't even say
Jackson?
Amy.
Jackson.
I would say Jackson.
I mean, Amy maybe more so than the others. Then they had all the other little, rich people or whatever. And fucking Ola at the end.
Yeah. Anyway. I was so angry.
Yeah, so we're going to...
full on spoilers.
Yeah, we're going to spoil this.
Yes, for sure.
So, yeah. We'll warn you, but, Wolf, I know, I think I've told you to watch this show. You guys know that I think you should watch the show. Yes. So if you guys have any interest in watching this show at any point, please don't listen to us.
Yeah.
Watch it and don't listen to us when we go to spoilers. You will hate yourself. Please don't.
So what I love about this show is that it reminds me of the UK show Skins, but
a
comedy version of it. I mean, not totally comedy, but you know what I mean. It's
because it's so much more than that.
Yeah. Because Skins is more of drama angsty, which this can be too.
Skins is definitely more melodramatic.
There you go.
Where this is definitely real shit dramatic.
Yeah, exactly.
We're all hyped about this show, then Wolf decides to kick us all in the balls and says, I have no intention of watching the show.
All right, fuck off then.
All right, fine. Fine. Don't take my recommendation.
Yeah, I know, right? What a dick.
Dude, okay, whatever. I still think you should mute it. He said, I'll forget about these spoilers by the time. If you don't care,
it's up to him.
It's up to you. But honestly, come on.
I'm not gonna not talk about it because you decided you wanted to listen.
I just think you should mute it.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is a perfect balance between those two that show and this show because of how real the drama, or how not the drama, but the situations and the predicaments they get put in, and how real life they take it. Mm-hmm. This is something that should be watched for high schoolers, because I think they would love this. They probably do watch it, but I don't know. I just feel like this show is so much better than any of the American shows that are on television.
The show's now. Everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you stopped yourself when you said you don't want to just call it comedy, because it's not just comedy it has at all. Yeah. It's so good. I can't relate to Skins UK because I think I only watched the MTV version.
The MTV version is turned the melodramatic bullshit up to 100, whereas the UK version was definitely a little bit more grounded, but it was still very emo-y.
But it was still graphic.
It was still emo-y and
still deal
melodramatic.
I didn't know you watched Skins.
I've seen a few episodes.
Okay.
On Rick's recommendation, because when my friends recommend something to me, I check it out. Whether I end up liking it or not is another story.
Yeah. I might have watched a few of the UK one. Anyway, that's not the point. Yeah. So keep going, Rick. If you're still going,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rick. I was trying to defend you to Wolf because he's an asshole.
Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, all the actors in this show are fucking amazing.
Yeah, they are.
The show is probably right now my favorite show on
anything
television.
I think so too. I'm so glad you guys like it.
It's just so good. I don't know what other descriptions I can use for this or how well I can go. Someone else go. It's just I'm lost for words of how good the show is.
So speaking of good, okay, this is the first thing. Emma Mackey, the actress that plays Maeve Wiley, this is her first thing that she's done, period. This is her first show, and she's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, she's great,
she's
man.
Fucking gorgeous.
She's so good in it.
Yeah. yeah, man, like, I'm so happy. Like, when I saw the trailer for the first season, I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I did not know I was going to get what I got, though.
Right.
Like, at all. And so I started watching it, and then I think I got, like, halfway through, and I came and I'm like, dude, you guys, like, Sex Education might be my favorite fucking thing right now. You guys need to start watching it. And I'm so happy you did and like it as much as I do, because, yeah, the show doesn't disappoint at all. The show makes me angry, but it makes me angry in
the right ways.
Great fucking way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't say enough about how awesome I think it is that, like, now there's just, like, there's so many. I'm looking at this actor list right now, and I know who all these people are, and they all have they all have a role in the show, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Wolf, just to clear up the confusion, I might have just told you to. What show did I tell you to watch? Maybe Haunting of Hill House? It wasn't Stranger Things. Oh, Dark. I think I told you to watch Dark. But this too, obviously. Anyways, Mike, you go for a bit too, because now I'm at a loss for words.
I don't like. Okay, so like just to keep on the same train you guys are on, like the performances in this show, man. Like from everybody, like I would have never known that Gillian Anderson had this in her.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
and that's not saying she's bad in anything or nothing like that, but I would have never known she had this kind of fucking performance in her. Because holy shit.
Well, it's even that, aside from that part, I know there's a few times where Annie has been watching it and she's like, that's Gillian Anderson?
Yeah.
Like from the X-Files? You know, because like, and I didn't watch the X-Files very much, but she just seems so different on this show.
The first
than
season,
X-Files.
that's what I said. I was like, oh, no fucking way. But yeah, like, again, that's not to say she's a bad actress or bad in anything. I just didn't think she had this type of character in her. And man, is she so good on it.
Yeah.
Like, I've been praising Asa Butterfield for a long ass time, and I did after I watched the first season of this, and it's like even hits home even harder how good that dude is.
Yeah.
How he's just fucking good.
And what I think is great too, like where did I see this? I might have saw it on his somewhere in an interview or something, but he just said how he couldn't be more. This is like he couldn't be more proud to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Like he loves being on this show, and I just think it's so awesome.
I just hope this gets past the Netflix 3-year curse. It does. I don't think this has to go on for fucking ever.
No, but
like, can we like at least get them out of high school? Just.
4 seasons.
Can we get
more? Really?
Yeah, I don't even want to think about
you know
the
what
end.
I mean? No,
like,
because that's the first thing I thought when I finished it last night. I was like, because after I mean I didn't come into Everything Sucks until well after you guys did, until well after you guys had talked about it being canceled.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know if I want to watch this because it was canceled. And then you guys were both like, especially Rick was like, dude, this is a fucking Mike show. You have to watch it. And so I did. And I immediately got upset because the way they leave that first season is like, I'm ready to see the shit happen. I'm ready for it. And I feel like the end of season 1 of Sex Education kind of wrapped up in a way. Yes, they kind of left threads open.
Yeah, no way. For me, I'm just like...
They left threads open, yes. But I mean, story-wise, character arc-wise, everything, like, they left it in a way where, like, okay, if they don't get picked up for a second season... I'm not going to be super upset. I'm going to be pissed because I love it. But I'm not going to be like, there was so much more in the tank. Fuck. But the way they leave season 2, there's so much more left in the fucking tank, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not to say I didn't want more.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying,
I think for me, I feel differently though. Because like for me, like no way. Like I mean, I'm not trying to just be argumentative because that's not what I'm trying to do. But like to me, when the way season 1 ended, I'm like. Immediately I was like, please tell me there's a season 2. Because I'm like, dude, do not fucking leave me like this where she's coming over to kind of say what her feelings are to him. And then she sees Otis kissing Ola. And I'm like, no. Like, this has to keep going. So I hear you, but for me, the cliffhanger was still fucking there.
I don't know. I think the actual ending with him actually fucking finishing. Like I said to you guys when I was watching it, I go, holy shit, I just finished Sex Education, and so did Otis. And you guys were like, ah. Yeah, because that's what it was. Like, that was kind of like, yeah, there's these threads open, but dude figured himself out.
I don't see it. To me, there absolutely had to be a season 2.
It.
I don't. The whole
Your
show.
point of view. I can see your point of view, but I would still be.
I
pissed.
wanted more. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just saying, for me
because
personally,
there's still so much they can unpack.
Yes,
there.
exactly.
That's why.
Yeah.
The only point I'm arguing is, I guess I disagree that everything was wrapped up. I didn't
mean
It
like
wasn't wrapped up.
bow on it or anything
Yeah.
like that. I just feel like the final scene of the show this is gonna sound was a satisfying ending for Otis.
Not a satisfying ending for me.
That I didn't say
his
for us
perspective,
or as
from
viewers,
his perspective,
but from the
not
Otis
through
perspective,
Maeve.
and I won't say that his story was concluded either.
Yeah, definitely not.
I mean,
But-
I mean, it was.
It got to a point, like I said, he's come to terms with his issues. He's figuring himself out. Cool. But like the way this season
I'm gonna bring that up, Wolf.
was ended with like 4 different stories that need to be gone into deeply.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that they've fleshed out the characters.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think that's great. And there's so many other stories, but this show is very much about will they, won't they with Otis and Maeve. Like,
I mean, that's always going to be the underlying story.
It's going to be. So for me, it's like, okay, season 1, the way that ended, like for me, I'm just like, okay, fucking season 2, like, come on, like this has to happen. Get this Ola bitch out of the way, and let's have this happen.
I was
That
negative on her until about episode 4 or 5 of this season.
No,
I
It
liked
wasn't
her.
gonna last.
For sure.
Obvious.
Like, are you kidding? The whole time I'm rooting for, like, I know how much he likes Maeve. I'm rooting for him the whole time. As soon as Ola came in the picture, I'm like, get the fuck, like, no. I hated her from Jump Street. I'm like, do not go on a date with her. Like, no.
So possessive.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, come on. You have to agree.
Okay, so
Well, yeah, but I mean, you gotta have that drama in there.
No, of course.
like,
But it's just
I
so
liked
frustrating.
her as a character, and I liked her until she gave him the ultimatum in season 2, which was like episode 3.
You're a better man than I.
3.
I
I
don't
like
know.
her. I liked the personality. I liked the character.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that I hate the character. Just she was like a fucking gnat that I couldn't get rid of because I'm like, hey, can I get out of here? I want to see the real shit. You know what I mean?
But they're not gonna give that to you right away.
And I know, and those motherfuckers.
lead you up to.
They might not ever give it to you.
No,
Wonder
that's
Years.
bullshit. They better not. That'd be ridiculous.
Okay, so Broken Wolf brought up Atypical season 3. So not necessarily. I'm not gonna say exactly what happens, but like if they don't, kind of what you were talking about, like you would have been fine with that. Like right now, if Atypical ends and that's the last season, it's wrapped up. I would be sad because there are still some threads to be explored, but it was wrapped up in a way where like I think it was more wrapped up than season 1 of Sex Education.
Yeah.
Probably because it's their 3rd season.
Yeah.
But like I hope that does come back.
And
but if
again,
it ends there, I'm fine. I'm happy. I thought it was a great ride.
I want to make it clear. I did not in any way mean to for it to sound like I thought Sex Education wrapped up real nicely after season 1. But
Yeah.
Of course.
my point was that if it wouldn't have got picked up, but it pretty like a week after
see
it
how it
came
would
out, they
not
were
get
like,
picked up.
"Yo, season 2." Like it was less than a week after. Because you were already saying, Bryce, like, oh, it's getting season 2. They're gonna start shooting this time. Like, by the time I got to it in the summer, it was already like, yo, this is continuing.
Yeah, for sure.
So like when I watched it, I already knew. Maybe it's because I already knew going into watching it that it had gotten picked up for season 2. But yeah, like I would have been fucking upset that I wasn't getting more of that because I really grew fond of the characters and I thought everybody just knocked it out of the park in that first season. But I wouldn't have been like, I wouldn't have jumped off a cliff. You know what I mean?
I would have jumped off a cliff. So you were with Mike. I would have been pissed.
I would have been pissed too, but I mean, I was yeah.
See, I think you guys both knew. I think I told you both already that it was already getting a season 2.
I think, and that's
so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
so,
I think
even
that
still,
that's probably partially part of it.
I mean, it could be. I still feel like that shouldn't affect it though, because for me, like, there's no way. Like, I as soon as that show ended, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, there has to be a season 2. Like, there has to be. Like, at no point did I leave that thinking like, oh, okay, well, it's done and that makes sense. But that's, I don't know.
So, kind of moving on to a different topic. Did you guys find yourself like all the characters are great, but did you find yourself like liking one character's story more than another?
No. I feel like that's the thing is I really feel like this season in particular, They did an amazing because I was voxing you guys last night as I was
you
watching
we were
it.
getting the live.
So you were
boxes
getting
from,
and like none of that
you.
has changed.
And I didn't want to say much.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's why there were some things where I'm like, fuck. I feel like if I heart something or don't heart something, then Mike might read into it. So sometimes I was real sporadic.
You
with
waited
it
until I said I was on to the next episode before you
about
liked
some
anything
stuff.
I said. Yeah.
Because at one point you said, I don't think I like Isaac. And I'm like, I'm not going to heart that.
Yeah.
Because
when like the party episode, I was like, I don't fucking like this Isaac dude at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not supposed to, obviously.
No.
But yeah, and then fucking come to
Get
the
him
end.
off the
Get
fucking
him off the
screen.
fucking screen.
I want to
just
roll
wanted to
him
make
off
sure.
a cliff.
I just wanted to make sure which character.
But yeah, I love. Okay, so here's my one gripe, and I don't think I really talked about it with you this way. Season one.
Really quick, I just brought that up because I was wondering because I kind of felt the same way too. Like there was not 1 second where I did not like.
There were definitely people that I were more invested in than I thought I would be, and I'll get to that specifically. It was towards the end of the season, but I'll get to that specifically later because it's one person in particular. But so real quick, my main only gripe, and it's nitpicky of me, but you know me, and that's what I do. Of the first season was I felt like the opening stingers with like the sex scenes and stuff, because every episode opened that way in season 1 and every episode opened that way in season 2, and I think that's fine. I don't have any problems with that whatsoever. I feel like in season 1, the way it felt was more for I don't even want to say shock value, but more on that side of it.
Okay.
And it was kind of off-putting at the beginning of every fucking
value?
episode of like, here's a sex scene, everybody, and like.
Well, there was a lot of nudity in season 1.
Yeah, and there wasn't any. There was
hardly any in season 2.
And all it was what's his name's asshole.
Yeah.
In like season 5 or whatever, episode 5. Which again, and I said this to you guys last night on Voxer. I said the way that they completely changed and flipped the opening sex scene stingers for comedy, and not necessarily for like, haha, it's such a funny situation, but like semi-fucking realistic situations.
Yeah.
And they kind of flipped it, and it instead of it being off-putting, it was completely disarming.
Right.
And then you get into the episode, and like I feel like that was done. That's one of the main reasons why I feel like this season blows first season out of the water. I love that first season. It's so fucking good. But I feel like this season is like head and shoulders above the first.
To me, it's just like a building block sort of
Yeah.
thing. You just
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going
yeah.
up the stairs.
Yeah.
And then I mean, do they actually... They don't literally open up every episode with a sex scene, I don't think.
First season?
I don't know about
don't
first
remember.
season. I don't remember, but season 2,
First
I
episode-
definitely
the first
don't think. And
episode,
so
yeah.
it's fine.
I
I
mean-
get your point.
I can think of 4 or 5 of them off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure everyone opens with a sex situation.
Okay,
Well,
well,
yeah,
that's a different story. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Not therapy, but like full on. Like go back and check them out. I'm telling you, every season opens with that.
Yeah, I don't
Every
know.
episode opens
Well,
with that.
I'm sure I'm going to watch the first season again,
Yeah.
so I will.
Well, season 1, I don't know. Season 2, I definitely don't think everything opened up with the sex thing, but it doesn't matter. Wolf, you're actually irritating me right now because he's doing it on purpose,
Yeah.
but he's like, so Otis has a satisfying ending in sex education, huh? And then he goes, so Isaac didn't have a satisfying ending. Like, it's just frustrating because, like, I feel
You're
like...
being a dick.
I feel like this is something you would like, and so when it's just kind of like, it's fine. It's whatever. If you're not interested, you're not interested, but it is what it is. All right, let's go forward.
Yeah, so we should just jump into spoilers now, unless you have anything other non-spoiler stuff to say.
Just talk about whatever you want, you know? Like, I mean, if you got something to spoil, then go for it.
No, I was just trying to say...
Apparently nobody in the chat cares, so
So,
it's
yeah, it
fine.
doesn't matter.
I mean,
Okay.
here we've already kind of talked.
We don't need a
spoilers.
spoiler section. We actually
Yeah.
really haven't. We don't need a spoiler section per se. Let's just
Yeah.
fucking talk about it.
Well, I talked spoilers in terms of season 1, but that's their problem because I brought up Ola.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I think one of the best things that happened was when I got your Vox, and your first Vox was all over the window.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, Oliver, what are they talking about? And then like I just like paused for like literally 3 seconds, like, oh, he's watching it.
Yeah.
And like that beginning intro, that first episode,
Well, yeah, with him fucking whacking
just
off
jerking
everywhere.
I was like,
Yeah,
oh my god, this is so fucking hilarious. Oh. And then like boom, that happens, and then boom, sex education shows up on the screen, and like from right then and there, you know how this fucking show is going.
Yeah. And going along with that, they, Gillian Anderson's character, his mom in the first season was kind of, I won't say cold, but very clinical with him. Like, it's okay.
Or she treated him like a subject
instead of like his son. Like her son. And right out of the gate of season 2, they don't flip that, but they already start that relationship being more mother-son than patient-doctor,
right.
Which I thought was awesome because that was one of the few things that I really was not down on, but like, oh man, they just make her so cold and sterile and clinical. And even though she's very good, it's just like, there needs to be more there.
I mean, that was kind of like a big thing in season 1 because he got so frustrated because she was kind of like writing her little book.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of about him, and that was their big issue.
Yeah, their big fallout or whatever you want to call it. But yeah.
Did you want your water?
Sure.
But yeah, man, like right out of the gate to start the show like that, I was like, all right, I know what I'm getting into. I knew what I was getting into, but if you don't and you see that opening 3 minutes or whatever, you're like, okay. This is definitely something that's going to be I won't say played more for comedy, but taking the inherently comedic things about sex and bringing them to the forefront.
Yeah.
And, how teenagers are dealing with them.
Right.
Which I think is pretty funny. Like the chlamydia outbreak, and I got it from the fucking pitch pipe because no. It's too funny, man.
Is this something, I'm guessing not, but this isn't something you've gotten Alexis to watch with you?
No, I watched it by myself.
Okay. Have you told her about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, man, like, there's so many things I want to talk about story-wise and character arc-wise and stuff like that. I just don't know, like, how to get into it.
Well, here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know
I
what
hear
I mean?
Well,
let's talk about Otis.
Okay. Well, I was gonna.
Go for it. No, go.
Well,
We'll bring up characters and just talk about.
Well, that's fine. I'm gonna go right for the fucking heart of it, though.
Okay, go for it.
I was yelling at my fucking TV, and I'm just like, they're really gonna fucking do this, aren't they? They're gonna end the fucking season with Otis and Maeve not getting together.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna. I was pissed though, in the best way. That was. I'm like, and I'm gonna have to wait a fucking year to see what else happens after that. And that little piece of shit. Wheelchair motherfucker.
Throw him out of a goddamn tree again.
Yes. Like, I'm just like, no. I don't, like, there's just, I'm like, come on. She heard the message, right? Like, what is she smiling up at the sky about? Like, they're both, like, they're going to run into each other, then the credits roll. I'm like, those motherfuckers, they did that. Mm-hmm. They did that to me. It's so frustrating. I cannot believe they did that to everyone, but it's brilliant at the same fucking time.
It's really well done.
Because it's brilliant, but it's so fucking frustrating.
I like that you don't hear all of Otis's message right at the beginning when he leaves it.
Yeah, but then you hear the whole thing, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Oh man, and like, I hate that little asshole. I hate him. I hate him. So
I agree. Like the whole time, like it led up to it. Like it was that slow pull of leading up to like, is he gonna do it? Is it gonna happen? Like no. And this is how I was watching. I was like, no, don't.
So this is how I
fucking does it.
I felt with the Maeve Otis situation. I
fucking hate that shit.
I automatically just assume, this is gonna have a season 3. So right away, like I'm like, I don't expect them to come together now. But the way that they kind of push you and pull you in those directions where you think, it is gonna happen. Oh no, okay. Yeah, it is. Like they did such a good job of like teasing and then you get the big fucking heel cut off at the end. I turn everything into wrestling.
No, I know, and it's true. That's what he is, and I saw it build to that. Like I go to Andy, I'm like,
that's gonna happen.
I go,
you see it.
See it. Like there's a point early on, especially when he is showing Maeve what he does in the choreography thing, and I'm like, why are these two hanging out so much? What are they trying to do here? Yeah. Do not tell me she's not gonna end up in a relationship with this guy. Like, really? Like, I don't like this. And Andy's like, well, I mean, they must be doing it for a reason. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear that right now. Like, let's just keep.
You shut your fucking mouth.
Let's just keep watching the show. But it's, oh my god, man. Like, here's the thing, because especially showed it with this season especially, like how they were able to flesh out all these characters.
Yeah.
I don't want the show to just be, even though I said what I said earlier, I don't want the show to just be will they or won't they get together.
No,
I don't want it to just be that, because I was very much like, well, they could get together in season 2, and I don't think the show's over, because they have such good chemistry, and there's so much stuff that I think there's so much more that can be done. So I hope this isn't like a fucking, sorry to talk about this because I know you love the show, this is not a knock on it, but I hope it doesn't become like a Friends situation with Ross and Rachel, and we go through X amount of fucking seasons, and then they get to get fucking together at the end finally. Like, I don't want it to be that.
Right.
Because I do think the show is bigger than that, too. With that said, though, I am enjoying this roller coaster, even though I wanted to flip the fucking table and jump out my fucking window and break my TV. I was like, fuck you, writers. Then I was like, you're awesome at the same time, because I feel this way because of you.
Well, see, Bryce, that's because you're an intelligent individual that can separate characters from people.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I've gotten obsessive with the show, though. Like, I go to its subreddit.
No.
No, I do.
No.
Oh God, Bryce.
I don't care. I watch, and the other thing
Why?
Just because I want to hear. It's like, dude, you know me. I like hearing people's feedback, and so, like, that's the only thing I could think of where if I want to know something about,
These are all the feedback I need right here.
if I want to know, but I want more. I like the show so much, I just crave more.
We're not enough for
we're not
you.
enough.
No, it's not
Right.
that. But I mean, I just had you, and I knew you weren't going to talk till we reviewed it, and then Mike just finished last night, so I could talk about it with him more now too. But like, I know if I want to know something on just one in particular topic, I know subreddit. I know I could go to a subreddit. I know that I could do that, and so of course there is one. And here's something that I want to comment on that I think is great. So when the trailer came out, there's a bunch of people that were bitching about. It's like, oh, they showed the whole season in the trailer, and there are so many people so convinced of that, and people are like, why would they do that? They wouldn't do that. Someone said, this kind of feels like a bunch of stuff that probably just happens in the first episode. And I watched the first episode, and I'm like, yep. That trailer was literally basically the first fucking episode. I'm like, because at first I started to doubt myself. I'm like, man, are these people right? Like, should I have not watched that trailer? Like, I knew I was going to watch it. And I'm like, but I couldn't contain myself because I've been waiting for the show for so long for season 2. Yeah. And I'm like, they wouldn't fucking do that.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't do that. And so I loved watching episode 1 and seeing them like, no, you fuckers, trying to plant those seeds in my head. That was all episode 1 bullshit. And the other thing I want to comment on, and then you guys can talk, another thing that makes the show so good is, I told you, I'm damn near obsessive. I watch all the press stuff, and Eric, his name is Chudy, I think is how you pronounce his name, and I hear them say Asa, so I don't know if that's how you really say it, but Asa and Emma, Maeve, their chemistry in real life is fucking phenomenal. And honestly,
have you seen those YouTube videos with them together?
That's what I'm on. Yeah, I watched it on season 1 too, and honestly, it's so funny watching Asa and Emma together, because there actually seems like there's something, like there's some chemistry. Like, she teases him so hard, and like there's one in particular where I just watched last night, and they're supposed to like see how well they know each other. So they're asking all these. You did? Yeah. So some of this, the subreddit kind of put it in my head, but then I was watching all these little things. I'm like, yeah, I can see it. So, you know, everyone knows that like the big thing with Emma is that she gets compared like, oh, she looks like she could be related to Margot Robbie, blah, 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 blah. And so the question was, who's your celebrity crush? And so she looks over at him. She's like, who's your celebrity crush? She's like, is it Margot? And Margot Robbie. And he kind of looks at her like this or whatever, as if she's trying to imply it's like, you know, I look like her. You said you think I'm hot? You know, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. But anyways, I'll shut up now because I will keep going. I have problems with this show.
Yes, you do.
You know what? You know hearing him talk all this.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when I first got into Buffy.
Oh God! Dude, we're gonna be recording episode 8002, and Rick's gonna be sitting here.
I need to know about this. I gotta know about this.
Rick's gonna be sitting here
what
with
classification
the
is
fucking
this demon?
He's gonna be sitting here with the cane and be like, you know what this reminds me of?
By the time I met
no,
Rick,
you're talking about your actions.
Yeah.
No,
By the time I met
Rick,
Rick,
just here
Buffy was already over. And Rick was still like that about Buffy.
Yeah.
Because we went and we're hanging out and there was a comic shop and he goes, oh, I wonder if they have season 7?
Probably.
Was that the first comic book season? What was the first
season
comic? 8. Oh, what if they have season 8? And then they had one issue And then he was like, no, it's all done. And then he went to the counter and had them order the fucking trade paperback of 8 for him. And I was like, damn, really? All these years later, still? So, yeah.
I live going to subreddits.
Yeah.
Looking at details.
You guys, because look, I watched season 1 and season 2.
I'm happy for you.
No,
Yeah.
but listen,
I'm happy for you.
You're with me. Don't act like this is just me. You have to realize I watched season 1 and 2 before you guys finished them.
Yeah.
So I had to I could talk to Andy, of course, but I had to know more. And so I looked, and
I think you've officially proven to the chat that you were, in fact, not a robot and an actual human being with emotions.
Whatever. The shows that we're sitting here talking about, the show's that fucking good, man.
Really
no,
It's that fucking good.
I love it so much, but I don't want to dig into the subreddits and know what could this be possible? Could that be possible? I just want to watch it and see what happens.
So I'm not reading that. It's not. I'm not going there so much for
Yeah, I don't want fucking fan theory bullshit.
Just more reviews.
I don't go there for fan theories. It's more to hear people's feedback and stuff. Because so far, honestly, no one's really offering that up on the subreddit. People are saying something that's stupid. That honestly, I fucking went there. It's fucking amazing. Half the fucking front page of the subreddit was people that put Isaac's head on some dude in a wheelchair and someone behind it pushing him off a fucking cliff. That's what I go to the subreddit for. I'm not going for fan theories. Trust me, you'd like it. And plus, through that subreddit is how I'm finding out about all these press interviews that they're doing.
That's hilarious.
Because it's all in one place. So yeah, man.
I liked going back onto the stories. I liked how they broke them up.
Yeah, they did. They barely.
They did it in a way I haven't really seen.
Sorry.
But again, I don't watch that much TV drama.
Yeah, I agree with
Ola and
Otis.
Otis, yeah.
But when you said broke them up, what I thought you were going to say is this season I feel like they actually made a conscious effort to keep Otis and Maeve apart as much as possible.
Yes.
Dude, not just Otis and Maeve. The core cast or whatever.
Eric too. Yeah.
They kept
not as
Eric,
much,
Eric and Otis were together.
Yeah, but
not like they were the first.
It wasn't like the first season.
Otis was with Raheem, Eric was with Raheem in the same way that Otis was with Maeve in season 1.
So they definitely took and then Jackson had his own story arc, which was fucking fantastic.
Dude,
yeah.
and what? I'm sorry. What's her name? What's the friend's name? The tutor.
Viv.
Yes.
Yeah.
She that this is what this show does so well. They took something when I first started watching. I'm like, oh, what's this gonna be? I thought she was just. I thought I should have known better, but I thought it's gonna be kind of like this meaningless sort of quickie little thing. I ended up caring so much about that fucking story by the end of it.
It's
so insane.
Jackson had his own story arc. Eric had his own story arc with bits from Otis here and there.
Yeah.
Adam had his own story arc. Ola had her own story arc. Maeve had, everybody in that main core cast had their own shit to get through before they even ever interacted with each other. Yeah. And then after interacting with each other, went all their separate... That's what I thought Rick was saying, that they did a good job of breaking up that core and making all of them mean something even more apart than they do together.
Yeah.
I really thought Amy's character in the first season was awesome.
I really liked her character.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. And then, halfway through this season, you're like, oh, fuck, man. You really feel for her.
Just fuck her up?
Yeah. Because they totally, sorry, not to interject, but they totally, evolved her from being oh, she's the chick with the big boobs that showed her tits in, in season 1.
The first scene of the first episode.
And then you watch her
character
evolve.
She was so sexualized, and now she was...
And now in season 2, it's they've made you, she's... a main
you care about
character
her so much.
She was and she's so good every time. Maeve's why don't you just say that you have feelings for Oda? Just go tell him to go talk to him. Go talk.
She was being the voice of reason.
And the character, even in the first season, even though she's supposed to be kind of ditzy or dumb or whatever, she just seems like such a fucking sweetheart.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then and just and then all the interactions from characters from the first season, the bitchy girls, they have roles throughout here. Not just Ruby, but Olivia, the other girl too, who has the whole thing with her boyfriend.
Right, and then the guy who's gay, who talks a lot of shit that didn't know how to do.
Yeah, that dude. God, what is his name?
Is it Anwar? Is that him right
Anwar.
there?
Yeah.
That guy is so hateable. Seriously, he might be the biggest piece of shit on the show.
But then you're like, oh man, and you feel for him.
And so because they could flip it, and the person that they did that with phenomenally this season is Adam.
They started in the first season with that.
Right.
But this season,
They hit it.
Oh, man, they knocked it out of the fucking park. Knocked it out of the park.
The fact that these writers, and like I know you want to get to this later, I'm not going to take your thunder, so I'm just going to lean us in that direction. We don't have to go there yet. But the fact that these writers can make you change on a dime how you feel about them is amazing.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it. Like, she's in one episode, and she's in it, or 2 episodes, I guess, where she has, you know...
a significant... She's probably in more, but a significant role,
Ruby. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, and not only is her stuff significant with Otis... You start to see the chinks in her armor and why she acts the way she acts.
Even though she's still being a bitch. Yeah. And then it comes off.
Yeah. But it's done in a way where it's like, oh, you understand why. This show is really like... And I brought this up last season after watching last season. This show really is a modern take on the fucking Breakfast Club, man. Okay. Right down to the goddamn detention scene where they have to do an essay together.
Fucking good.
They shot that entire scene... to look like specific parts of that fucking movie. What's her name hanging over the... Lily hanging over the banister, sitting down. Like, the way they shot up. They showed different levels to that library area. Like, when Miss Sands bursts through the doors, it's the same angle, same shot, same style as Breakfast Club when he burst into the fucking door. Like, it really is Breakfast Club. It really is, man.
Yeah.
And not just that episode. This entire fucking show is that. And it's so fucking good, man.
It is.
But yeah, Ruby, I cared about her.
Yeah. Oh. And I mean, and it was amazing. Like, this was going a little bit too far, but some people on that stuff like, I kind of want to see Otis and Ruby. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No. No. But, so Otis... fucking ends up losing his virginity. Like, at first I'm like, that didn't really happen,
and it was just throwaway. It was just a throwaway.
But it's like...
I think that's the genius of their writing.
Well, that is amazing. Yeah. But I was like, come on, something's going to come out that they didn't actually have sex or something, and then it never did. But I think even saying that, you know, he doesn't remember it. But Otis not only ends up losing his virginity, but he loses his virginity to a really fucking hot chick, too. Like, someone that was probably considered one of the most popular girls in school.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, man, I really liked that party.
It was great.
The party episode and the one that followed it were, to me, like, I think it's 5 and 6 from season 1, where they're supposed to go see Hedwig, and he leaves him hanging, and he ends up getting beat up. Eric gets beat up.
Yeah.
And then the dance is the next episode, and it all comes back together with that song from Hedwig.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like those might have been... No, those were like 6 and 7. I was like, those might have been 5 and 6 again in season 2. But yeah, like, those 2 episodes came together. And god damn it, I said this in Voxer last night. I go, Bryce, why the fuck don't you make me a roast chicken when we hang out together?
It's fucking amazing.
And then he makes it anyway.
So, fuck, I have so many directions I want to go in, but I want to say this now. I was so frustrated. I'm like, when Ola, like, breaks up with them.
Yeah. Oh, I was so mad.
And I was
so fucking
mad. I'm like, good, fuck, this stupid bitch is trying to make you pick. And then you did pick, even though you really kind of, like, we know what you want. Yeah. Like, everyone knows what you want. And so I was kind of pissed at Otis after that, though, because I'm just kind of like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you mad at me for? Like, she's the one that made you, Ola's the one that made you choose. Now you kind of like, oh, well, that's done. And then I was frustrated, but it was there for the right reasons, I guess. But I was just like, dude, like, what, why do you, I understood why he was holding a grudge towards Maeve a bit, but at the same time, anyways. So it was, as a viewer, it was just frustrating to watch.
Oh, yeah. And like they even say, like, it's completely unfair for her to come at him like that. Yeah. At that moment.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel genuine. It feels like she's doing it just to fuck up the relationship he has going.
And I just saw that too in The Good Doctor, where the main character's girlfriend, like, oh, you have to, like, you either choose me or choose your best friend who happens to be a female. It's like, no, fuck you. you.
Yeah.
Fuck
Get
you. You
outta
can't
here.
do that.
Right. So I hear you.
So
on
I was
that-
pissed off twice.
Yeah.
I hear you on that point about. Like, I'm assuming you're talking about Maeve expressing her feelings.
Yeah, it didn't.
So-
So it not that it wasn't, but it just the way they write it is they write it to where like there's all this. They go out of their way to show all this animosity between Maeve and Ola, and they do it in a very like
Subtle way.
in a very high school way, like
Yeah.
fucking dirty
Yeah.
looking each other from across the courtyard, and then all of a sudden when he's going to leave to be with her, she's like, "Yo, I like you." I was like, "Yeah, you're just being a bitch right now," and I understand it,
Yeah.
but you're just being a bitch right now.
So I feel like I get why you think that, but I don't know that I took it like that because I don't think she had ill intentions. I didn't take it like she had ill intentions. And man, you should when that part was happening, I'm sitting here watching and Andy and I both go like this. I'm like, oh fuck, it's gonna happen. Like we're just both like this. But like I just think she was listening to Amy, you know, say like
Yeah.
like look, tell him how you feel.
Fucking only smart one on the goddamn show.
tell him how you feel. And so like I don't think that she was trying to do anything. I just think she wanted him to know.
Uh-huh.
But I could see how you interpret it the way that you did.
No, I don't like again. I think it was intentionally unintentional to
Right.
where you feel that even though her character isn't doing it intentionally,
No.
it comes across that way.
Because her character, I love her fucking character. By the way, she's fucking a genius, and she's an amazing friend.
Yeah.
And like she has this exterior where she's kind of like a bitch or acts like she's hard, but then really behind all that, she's not. The way Otis puts it at the party was so good. It's like, oh, big scary babe or
Yeah.
whatever. But she's amazing.
Yeah.
The way that she ends up interacting, like when she sticks out her tongue at her stepsister or
Yeah.
whatever, like, you know, like all the little things that she did that probably were improv anyway, were fucking amazing. I love her character.
Yeah, she's so good.
Her character is amazing.
The Adam story arc, when they start with him at military school,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I already felt, even though Adam, I already was
Yeah.
feeling for him then.
Yeah.
when he got shipped off at the end of the
Right.
first
This
season.
dad's such a piece of shit.
Yeah, colossal piece of shit. And he's having problems, and then like, just his whole demeanor changed when they're like, "Yo, chill out, dude. We're not fucking talking about you.
Yeah.
This is how you fix it." And like, I was like, "Oh, good. Adam's finally gonna feel acceptance
Yeah.
somewhere."
You want to,
And then those motherfuckers do him dirty,
yeah.
assholes. And then when he's leaving, the headmaster's like, "I know, but some things are better left unsaid. I'm sorry." Like,
Yeah.
it's like, this is just this dude's fucking story of his
It's
life.
fucked up. It's fucked
Shit
up.
happens to him through no fault of his own. Even though he is a colossal fucking asshole and douchebag, when the shit happens to him that he probably deserves because of the way he treats people, it's not because he did it to himself.
Yeah.
And I feel for that character.
I do too.
Yeah.
They just, because the show takes you on that roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Because you're expecting, at first you are expecting them to be picking on him a little bit, and then they find out like, dude, we're just trying to
Yeah.
help you. This is how you do it. Then they ended up fucking him in the end. And it's just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Really bummed me out, man.
Yeah. His story was so good. Him just being completely fucking frustrated in the store, and what did he put on his face?
Oh, the price tag shit.
Yeah, he just got
yeah.
price tag on
Like,
his
that to
face.
me feels like something that was not in the fucking script.
Probably not.
Because, like, he does that several times where, and it probably is just character development by the writers and stuff, but, like, they put up this front and exterior of him in the first season where he's just this hardcore asshole bully with zero redeeming qualities whatsoever. And then the only time he shows any kind of weakness is because he got in trouble for being a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's very, like, that's behavior that type of person does.
Yeah.
Like, let me get myself out of it by showing vulnerability, and so I'm not in trouble anymore. And so, but in this season, like, the scene where he with the fucking price gun and is putting shit on his face, and then fucking, oh fuck, and he still has one on his, like, the whole thing, and then after he teaches the dog to sit, and he throws the keys, and he fucking can't catch him and fumbles him and kicks him into the door. It's like,
it's the best.
they do all these little tiny things to show, okay, this dude, here's the faults of this guy, and we're gonna show you this guy's faults finally, and by the end, he fucking steps up and is a fucking man about his faults. And like that scene in the convenience store where Otis says, "Hey, if you hurt him, I'm gonna mess you up real bad."
Yeah.
And he goes, "But you believe him, even though he doesn't believe himself. You believe him."
Right.
And then he says, I don't want to hurt him anymore." Like that was like one of the most powerful scenes in the show this year.
Yeah. I just speaking on Adam a little bit, but in a little bit less serious tone, I guess. Like just all the ways that like things happen to him that sucks. Like I'm yelling at my TV when he's locking up. Like check to make sure the door's fucking locked.
The door to make sure it's locked. I do it all the time.
But it turns out it was actually broken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ola.
They both got hurt.
Yeah. Now that Ola is out of Otis's way, like I can definitely admit that I can appreciate her.
She's such a good character, man.
She is. I just fucking hated that. She looks like a fucking bird or something. I don't know.
Listen, Trump. Don't attack her looks because
I'm
you
not,
don't like her.
I'm not. It's just that it's not her looks. It's not her looks at all. It's just like the way her hair is or whatever. I'm just like, can we just get her out of the way? But she definitely she's really good.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate her character more now that she is now that I'm satisfied and she's out of the picture.
For now.
No, she's
for now.
She's going the
We'll
other
see.
way. She's the
We'll
other
see.
way. Another thing that
They
want
very specifically go out of their way to tell you that she's not necessarily the other way.
That's true. She what did they call
It's
it?
like she's finding
They call it
herself.
pansexual. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about that's a
You
little
like
bit.
have fucking sex with pots and pans or something?
What's that
There's
from
so
again?
many good lines, man.
That's from the
That's
show,
Adam,
right?
yeah.
That's
Adam.
right. That's right. One thing I wanted to mention earlier, I don't remember what we were talking about, but I think we were talking about your mind. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't really get to talk about this with season 1 with you, but Eric.
Yeah.
So you brought up.
Oh, I fucking love Eric.
Eric's amazing. The actor's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But you brought up when him and Otis were on the outs in season 1.
Yeah.
I remember Eric was almost he changed. He was almost scary.
Yeah.
He was kind of intimidating. His whole demeanor fucking changed. And that whole time when they weren't cool with each other, I think you and I used to joke about this all the time, but I felt the way that I did playing season 1 of The Walking Dead, and Kenny would get mad at me for some fucking reason.
Can I fix it, Kenny, please?
You can sit here and bring Kenny a fresh cup of coffee and a donut you piece of shit! Yeah. How can you do this to me on a Wednesday? You know it's fucking, what's the kid's birthday?
Oh, yeah.
What's the little kid's name? Whatever. You know it's Duck's fucking day where you can't have donuts. I felt that way when Eric and Otis worked together. I'm like, fuck. But I just have to comment, because I think you brought up Ruby and Eric and just how Eric did such an amazing job. And then when Eric becomes Eric again, it's okay.
In that first season,
but when he, and so same thing with Ruby, like you said before, it's she had this exterior of being such a bitch, and then you kind of find out why she's like that, and then you see that exterior melt away. And
while she's still being a bitch,
still has some hints of it, even when she's super vulnerable.
When Otis says, I don't think I'm in love with you, and she goes, "Of course you're not."
Yeah.
That alone, I was like, "You fucking bitch!" But it's in a very likable way.
That's what I loved about the season. All the shields just come down, and you start seeing all the depth of all these characters.
Here's one thing that I thought was odd about this season, as compared to last season. So, they made a big deal about Eric's sexuality and his family, and how he wasn't open with them, so to speak. He was constantly hiding, and they kind of touch on that a little bit with Otis and Eric here. And he's like, where you hid yourself away, and now I don't want to see you do that again because Adam can't hold your hand or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, but this season, when you encounter Eric's family, it's just oh yeah, hey, we knew this whole time, and that can definitely be the case where you were seeing his family from his point of view and perspective, where he thought he was hiding it and they didn't know, and that's why everything was just so dire for him. But in actuality, the family knew and was just waiting for him to be okay with himself, to let him know, hey, yeah, don't fucking trip, dude. But so it was just kind of odd when his mom came to him and was like, "That boy is not right for you. He doesn't let you sparkle." And I was like, okay, maybe I need to watch season 1 again and see if we
I
were
feel like
really
I need-
getting the family from Eric's perspective and not a
Yeah.
reality perspective.
So I want to do that too. And then to your point, another thing that was weird is the dad was not present at all.
At
Where
all.
was the dad?
At
so
all.
I want to know what that was about.
Yeah.
I want to know if there was just the actor couldn't do it,
Yeah.
if they just kind of quietly wrote him off.
Because like the whole thing was like, don't let your mother see. Like, but the mother is like, and the sister's like, yeah, whatever. This
Right.
season, you know
So
what I
that's
mean?
something that I want to see from season 1 and see what
Yeah.
the deal was. But I want to look into where was the dad. The
Yeah.
dad wasn't in any episode at all.
You know
I don't
what?
believe.
There's a subreddit that you might like.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an answer there yet.
But yeah, man. And they did such a good job of bringing Raheem in and then just having him completely fold into that group. Like that whole episode where he's explaining douching to Otis so he can explain it to Anwar is like, oh yeah, here, I'll show you. Let's go. And then
Yeah.
the fucking teacher.
I love the teacher. We didn't even touch him. The teacher's fucking amazing. We did not
He's
even
so
talk
funny.
about him
God,
yet.
he's so funny. But yeah,
Damn.
man, this show is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And the way it leaves it, I got done with it last night, and I finished my show, and Alexis goes, and I go, now I gotta wait a whole fucking year
Yeah.
before I get anything else about it.
I wanted to just because I just didn't know how you felt about it. I felt like being like, well, sweet dreams, Mike, like or something. Because I was annoyed. I was like, you assholes. We're not done.
No.
I got
No,
more,
no, no.
I got
No,
more
not
to
done at all.
talk about.
Yeah.
Well, like I had. Okay, there was one other thing, but I'm just gonna do this now. The fucking play was hilarious.
Oh god.
I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? The music, all of it. How hilarious was the play?
Oh yes, I want to bring that
fucking
up.
play.
Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up, Quentin, you piece of shit. Like the teacher is saying that.
Yeah. But just like when they're acting out the play and the songs that they're singing, and then what's the girl's name?
Lily?
Lily. You're
Yeah.
watching her like direct the whole thing. I'm just like, what the hell is this? That was hilarious. I was dying.
Yeah, it was too funny, man. That
Yeah.
shit was good. Cute penis hands. Cute
Yeah.
penis hands.
Yes. The whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck?
Her whole take on Romeo and Juliet being this futuristic,
Yeah.
like weird alien thing, like that
Her
was just
obsession.
And how
Yeah.
much
that was just genius.
How much did it remind you of the production they were doing in Everything Sucks?
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
It's been a while, but maybe yeah.
yeah, because that was their whole.
That was the
alien
whole
movie.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally gonna bring up that play
It
Yeah.
cracked
too,
me
and
up.
And then going into that, like Jackson figuring himself out so he could do that and perform that way, and because of the friendship
Yeah.
with Viv, and the whole I love that right out of the gate, because you could easily see him, that character, trying to play off of her attraction to him to get her to do what he wants to help, and right out of the fucking gate, she's like, "No, dude."
Yeah.
Like he's like, that shit doesn't work on me. Get out of here. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, good. That is not going to be a factor at all.
Yeah.
Because it didn't need to be. And the fact that they are friends and the way they come together as friends is so fucking rad. Like her telling his mom's about hurting himself and stuff. And like, it wasn't out of spite because of the things he said to her. It was because she was concerned about him. Like, just so good, man. So fucking
and let's
good.
talk about that. Like that whole scene with Jackson and his mom's, and like when they have the flat tire or
Yeah.
whatever, and what he said to his mom, or like just get a divorce already, and blah, blah,
Yeah.
like I'm like, fuck. Like
Yeah.
when the mom walked off, like I'm not a parent, so I'm not gonna say I could relate to it, but in some ways I'm like that had to have been heartbreaking.
Yeah.
What he said to her. And then their time on the bench, and I don't know if that was just him being angsty, or if they really are if those two actually are going to separate. Like I don't think they are, because I think their issue with each other had everything to do with just like how much she was pressuring him.
And the thing
swim.
about
Yeah.
and the stuff he said was harsh, but the how he said it wasn't not true.
Yeah.
The one mom is upset because of the way the other mom is pushing him.
Right.
And the other mom is pushing him in his mind because she feels like if she doesn't do this with him, he won't see her as his real mom.
Yeah.
And I love the way they talk about it, because it's not like he said, "You're not my real mom." He said, "You feel like I think you're not my real mom."
Yeah.
And then she walks away. And then when they actually talk about it on the bench, she's talking about it like he said she wasn't his real mom. I was like, but that's not what he said. It's how he said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a great way to show people that it's intent behind what you say. You can say anything to anybody. But what hurts is the intention.
No, of course.
And he intended to hurt her.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't say, "You're not my real mom."
Yeah. It was just such a powerful scene.
Oh, the stuff with Otis and his dad was fucking...
Yeah, that was amazing
That
too.
shit got me real hard last night at 1:30 in the morning when I was watching it.
Yeah. I actually don't think there was a new episode of Walking Dead, by the way, Clown Pup, on Sunday. It was Super Bowl. I don't think the show comes back till February or something, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure the show's not back yet. But anyways.
And then right after that, Otis's interaction with Jakob at the play.
Yeah.
Where he's like, "You are an asshole.
Yeah.
But you're a good man."
Right.
And so like...
Well, I mean, that was like... I felt for Jakob, too.
Oh, dude.
Like, man, Otis should be a piece of shit right now.
Like, that whole...
At the dinner table.
Yeah.
Being a piece of
and
shit.
when they show that sequence from the trailer where he... Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, man, don't apologize because you're into someone.
Does anybody want a smoothie or whatever they keep asking? Dude, how is everybody on this show so good? We haven't even...
Gillian Anderson.
Oh, no, she's amazing.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
No, she's amazing. But you know what we haven't talked about? Have we not talked about Adam's mom? Let's talk about Maureen Gruff for a little bit.
Yeah.
Talk about somebody who was just in the background in season 1 and just fucking killed it in season 2. Right?
Yep.
You're not reacting. Like,
No, yeah.
she was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing with her and what's her name? Jean?
Yeah.
At the dancing at the club or whatever. And she's like, they totally made her a character. She found herself. And then that was amazing. I thought she was fucking phenomenal.
I don't know. I just find it incredible, like how well everyone got their spotlight.
Yeah.
How well everything is paced to where you don't feel like anybody was shortchanged at all.
Not at
Right.
all.
And even we talked about Ruby and her
Because,
2 episodes where she was relevant or whatever you'd want to say. I still don't feel like she was shortchanged as a character.
No.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
she wasn't.
Yeah, because like her story was strong enough to impact
Yeah.
her episodes. She stood out.
Right, because honestly, the little posse that she hangs out with was a little bit more muted this season. Although they did have the story
with Olivia.
with the dude that he didn't know how to.
douche.
Douche.
Yeah, it was like those 3 people. Olivia had her story with her boyfriend.
Yeah, right.
And then Anwar has his anal sex problem.
This is the face you make when you're trying to think of something. Like, on a cupcake. Oh my god.
And then with Ruby.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I gotta say, like, I know we're not really wrapping up at all or anything, but like I want to say, like, the person that stole the show this season was Amy for me.
Yeah, her whole thing was so, that
and
bus thing was so powerful.
Yeah, and the way that all the girls came together to help her, like,
Yeah,
I love that part.
it was awesome.
Yeah, and like I said, man, Amy just needs to fucking come to terms with this and figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
And then the next episode is when they have the big fucking therapy session, breaking everything at the goddamn junkyard or whatever.
Right.
And like,
right. When they walk off, they said, "What did you guys all agree on?" What is it that Lily turns around and says? Does she say dick? She says something.
She says unsolicited penises.
Yeah,
or some shit
something like that. It was so fucking funny. Shit, we were like,
fucking Miss Sands, man. Whew.
Yeah. But let's also talk about how much of a piece of shit. So I was talking about Anwar.
Yeah.
Fucking Adam's dad.
Yeah.
Is the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah.
When
And he was that way in the first season.
No, he
too.
was.
Yeah.
But I was like, are you serious right now? You're gonna copy the pages from Jean's notebook.
Yep.
And put it all over the fucking school.
That pissed me off.
I felt so bad for Jean. I felt bad for Jean a lot this season because the first season she was a little like kind of being manipulative of Otis.
And she was very cold and clinical and sterile, like I said. Yeah.
But this season, I felt so bad. I felt like Otis wasn't very good to her a lot of the time. And then she was kind of getting ripped on by the students a little bit at first at school.
And then
then people started to like her more than Otis's
Yeah.
advice and stuff. And then Michael did what he did.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't. Wow. Like I loved when he's like, hey, like you're fired. She's like, I'm not here. I'm here as a parent.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Or whatever she said.
He said, "I'm surprised you decided to show your face on campus."
Yeah.
I was like, fucking take a baseball bat to his goddamn head.
Seriously. like I can't get like we're even down to, again, like I said earlier, fucking Michael's mom is now, or sorry, Adam's mom is this full blown like amazing character right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's gonna have issues in season 3 trying to find herself.
Yeah, yeah, and then I mean we've covered it, and then the whole ending, which was amazing, even though it was
so good,
so fucking
so
frustrating, and Isaac is such a piece
that
of
whole
shit.
that whole last half of the episode with Maeve and the quiz show, and then her mom and having to call on her mom, and
I felt bad for her mom though. I actually did feel bad for her mom, and I think Maeve kind of did too, because I actually do think her mom is and was trying. I think she was being sincere.
when she said that she only slipped once.
When she said, because I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't think that she would have gotten that upset, and I think Maeve felt that way a little bit too, but it was just kind of too late.
It was too late. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, maybe I'm buying into her bullshit too much, but
in that situation though, like,
no, it's tough. Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Just be honest from the front. You know, like you weren't.
The situation itself is difficult enough to deal with.
Yes.
Right.
Especially when there's a kid like that involved too. She made the right decision.
Yeah.
In my view.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Rick.
It's just hard though, because then she ends up showing up to the quiz thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
I know,
good,
but she wasn't go. I don't know. I don't feel as strongly about it.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not as strong. I'm not as hard on it. Like especially just because addiction is a disease. I mean, she probably really didn't want to fucking slip up.
Yeah.
And she did it one time, and she wasn't abusing it, and she was still trying to be there for her daughter. And she showed up at the what was it called, Quiz Heads or whatever the thing on TV. She showed up. Maeve was shocked when she showed up there and was happy that her mom was there, and her mom was sober, and her mom was cool. And I don't know. I maybe I'm a sucker. I bought into her story though. When she was so upset over the whole thing, I really bought into it. And then I felt bad for Maeve because now her mom's fucking pissed at her. Like there was a total role reversal.
Yeah.
Like the mom took on the Maeve role, where it's like, I will never forgive you for this,
Yeah, I wanted to buy into it too, but I mean, I still felt it,
for sure.
Yeah.
But like, it had to be done.
Yeah,
It had to be done.
I don't know.
Doesn't mean I don't feel anything.
Knowing. Well, I'm not saying that, but just knowing what I know
I'm
now.
not a robot.
Knowing what I know now. I don't think it's so decisive. It had to be done. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Plus, that's another situation where Isaac was just totally like fucking really just snooping and sticking his nose into something, and he might have also made that roll into a bigger situation than it actually was. Because, they found her drugs, but she said she only did it once, and really we never actually saw her do the drugs, if I remember right.
Right.
And her whole story to Maeve was like, I got fired and I didn't want to tell you. And I'm working on getting something else. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's so black and white.
That scene with, again, it's implied, but that scene with her nodding out on the couch when Maeve's trying to leave for school and shit, like.
And maybe that's when she slipped up.
Yep.
Maybe that's where the slip up happened.
That's
and
what I got from it.
it could have come from the fact that she got fired.
Maybe.
Correct.
But at the same time.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. Because maybe I missed it. I don't know how it might have, but did Maeve tell Isaac to snoop around?
Yes.
She did.
Yeah.
No, well,
he gave it. Yeah, he did.
No. That's
he
true.
Kept an. She said keep an eye on her.
That
she
was
gave
after.
him the keys.
He said he said, "Hey, your mom didn't go to work today. I saw her go back in."
Right.
Okay.
And he said the next day was when she nods out on the couch.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then she goes to him and says, "Hey, here's the keys. I need you to do something for me." And that's when him and the brother go snooping in the.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But the point that I'm trying to make is, even before that happened, there was multiple scenes where his brother was like, "Hey, stop spying over there."
Right.
He kept looking out like he was looking for something. And then here's something that I thought of, and again, I'm not saying this is what happened, but I did think it was a little odd that how did the brother know exactly where to look for whatever for the drugs?
He was just looking around.
But he went right to it.
No, it was like he looks on.
The scene that you see, he literally goes right to this thing and grabs it, and it was
he looks on the shelves, looks inside shit, gets inside.
You know what?
Counter. Also, his parents.
He did kind of find it kind of fast.
I felt like
his parents were fucking addicts. That's what they tell you earlier in the show.
Yeah, but still, I thought it was a little odd that he found it really quick.
Assumption is that he knows where to look because I think maybe
His parents were addicts and they're involved in an NA program.
Or
Is
him
that
and
what they
Isaac
mentioned?
made a plan to plant the drugs.
No, you're all right, subreddit. All right, subreddit. Chill the fuck out.
I'm saying it on purpose.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. I think we've said everything.
I don't know if we have or not. Like, there probably will be more, but yeah, just
Okay, my time has changed. It needs to be. We need to be done by 4. So
I thought that's what you said all along.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I said 4:30.
No, you
you
said
said
done by 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's 3:12. I don't think we'd go
Okay,
on for,
okay.
I don't think we'd go on for another 45 minutes. But I'm just trying to think if there's anything else we haven't touched on. I felt bad for Raheem. at the end.
Music.
Well, yeah, but hold on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
felt bad for Raheem at the end of the show
I
because
did.
he really did nothing wrong,
No, he didn't.
and so like I mean he kind of sort of did kind of get that was hard for me because I felt for Adam, and I was happy about Raheem, and I feel like at the end Raheem did kind of sort of get fucked, and I think what he says to Eric at the end was actually kind of powerful too. It's like, well, what did he say? Will he be there to
Catch you.
To catch you?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to play into the next season too. And Adam was phenomenal at that part too when he came up and did that whole thing. Like that was huge for him.
Yeah. Definitely.
Don't check out. This is good stuff.
No. I'm pulling up stuff for the music.
Yeah. So I don't know. We can talk about music. They went in a completely different direction with the music this season.
Went in a great direction.
No, I'm not the bad one. I just mean it was like the first season I felt like was more 80s, and this season was like oldies.
I feel like the first season had a good mix.
It's not a knock either way.
Yeah.
Just that's from
Yeah.
based off my remember.
Yeah.
What I remember.
I can see
And
that.
and for the most part, like what I have to say about music isn't even necessarily the songs they used.
Yeah, I thought the songs they used were interesting.
It's just the way that they were used.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the one that really cracked me up, but it fits so perfectly, is the same one that they use in 10 Things I Hate About You when they're dropping the flyers for the party.
It's been a while since I've seen
The
that.
Sexy Boy song.
Okay.
That's really slow.
Yeah.
10 Things I Hate About You. They're dropping the flyers for the party, and that song's
it's just
playing.
been a long
It's been a
time.
long
They
time.
use that song in Sex Education in one of the scenes, and I was like, yeah, this fucking works here too, man.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hilarious that song worked in 2 totally different situations, in 2 totally separate things, fucking 25 years apart.
Yeah.
Or 20 years apart. But yeah, I love the use of music, and when they did change like arrangements of songs and didn't use like original versions of songs, the way they did it was just, it's so well done, and it fits scenes perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. I think that's an art form when it comes to television shows,
And choosing music.
and choosing how to use it and using it the proper way.
Yeah, one of the artists, because like I wanted to know what some of these songs were that I didn't know, and the one that kept popping up the most was an artist named Ezra Furman. Apparently, like a lot of like he's on the soundtrack, but there's like 3 songs that that they use. I Can Change, Devil or Angel, and oh, that was it. I Can Change, Devil or Angel, but there were others too.
Yeah.
But I noticed his, and then the use of Richard Hell, Betrayal Takes 2.
Yep.
And then Pale Blue Eyes, Velvet Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking Velvet Underground, man.
Yeah.
How perfect.
That was perfect.
God, that was
timing for
perfect.
that song. Oh, God. Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things is choosing the right song for the right mood, for
Right.
the right scene.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did perfectly in this show.
Yeah, totally, man. I can't say enough good things about this show, and like, I don't think I said anything earlier, and if I did, fucking someone remind me, but where I had nits to pick in season 1, I really couldn't find any here in season 2.
I mean,
really
you can
couldn't.
if you really want to do. but-
Well, you had nits to pick in season 1?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I already mentioned them earlier.
What were they? Oh, the sex stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but it was such a... I feel
Yeah,
like it was like
yeah.
a nit to pick, and you even said like it was very...
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 things, I think.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't, like, sitting here, like, because I came on here and talked about it right out the day after finishing it again. Just like, today. I finished it last night and I'm talking about it. And even then I had like, here are a couple of things that I think could be better or should have been different.
You think about anything long enough and hard enough, you could come up with stuff.
Being 18 hours later or whatever since I finished it, maybe even less, honestly, 12 hours later after finishing it, I really don't think there's anything I could say about like the writing or the execution or anything in the show. There's character stuff I don't like, but I'm not supposed to like. So it's not even that. Like it goes back into the way I always talk about wrestling, man, with you. Like I'm not supposed to like Headmaster Groff at all. So I don't fucking like him.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to like Isaac because I have an emotional investment in Otis.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't fucking like Isaac. I hope we see something in the second season with Isaac's brother where he's like, "You're being a shitbag, bro." Like that would be something that I think should happen. And I don't feel like it needed to happen now. They needed to get that arc out of the way with Isaac first.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, man, the mom character, like I feel for the situation, but I don't feel for the character, and that's
Talking about Adam's mom?
no Maeve's mom.
Maeve's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I feel for the situation, but I don't feel for her as a character at all.
The brother didn't make an appearance at all this.
Yeah, brother didn't make an appearance either, but they are kind of got across last season that he's sort of a flaky shitbag too.
Comes and goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I just don't think there's anything I could nitpick about this season. I really don't.
It was executed very well.
Yeah, man, completely.
I mean, just the fact that like it really feels like every character serves a purpose of some sort. They're not just there.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, even the teacher is funny, and like he had his moment too, where like you know he found out what's her name,
Miss Sands. Yeah.
found out that Miss Sands like she wanted to be talked dirty to, and like that was his whole thing, and he was struggling with it, and then he did it, and just so good, man.
Baba Ganoush!
Yeah, it's so fucking funny. I don't know how they do it, man. Like it actually stresses me out thinking like, man, they have all these people and they've made all of them matter.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
insane.
and it's like even Steve, even Amy's boyfriend, like he is a background ass character. But during that whole situation with Amy, and I to her it comes off as aggressive because of what happened to her.
Yeah.
But you see his intentions. His
intentions are
literally
good.
just trying to make her feel better or trying to help. And she's not letting him help.
Yeah.
Until later.
Talking about her boyfriend?
Yeah, her boyfriend. Yeah, like that fucking cupcake with his face on it.
This shit was so funny.
I like that quirk that she's learning, so everything she's
wants to
making
learn
right
is
now
terrible.
is just terrible.
When they were eating the cake and the cop car on the way home,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, I love
shit.
How about the fact that they're carrying this cake to
Yeah.
the police station, to the like all of it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that I love, like, you know, that really shows, like I talked about earlier, how awesome of a character Maeve is, and it showed their friendship and stuff. How Maeve's like, you need to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care, it's my birthday. This is what I want for my birthday.
Yeah.
We're going to the police,
Yep.
and that's what we're doing.
Good ass shit, man. I can't say anything negative about
I
this
think
show at all.
we've talked so long about it, like it's
Yeah.
insane, and that just shows how much we like it. Sex education is great.
Yeah.
You just need to watch. Yeah. Come
Just
on
watch
back
it.
if you're still watching, or you could write it. We're done. But yeah, it's fucking phenomenal.